Once upon a time, there was a poor boy named Ion, who lived in a small village nestled between rolling hills and a sparkling river. The village was known for its annual kite flying competition, where children from neighboring villages would come to showcase their beautiful, brightly colored kites. Everyone would cheer and laugh as the kites danced in the wind, each trying to outshine the other. Now, Ion loved watching the kites, but he had never flown one himself. He didn't have enough money to buy one. His family was too poor. He spent most of his time collecting scraps of paper and cloth, pretending they were wings that would lift him to the sky. The other children mocked him for this, calling him the crazy kite boy. They laughed and pointed at him, making fun of his tattered clothes and his worn-out shoes. "Why do you even bother?" they would say. "You're too poor to fly a kite, let alone win the competition." Their words hurt Ion like a sharp stone in his shoe. He wanted to win the competition so badly, but how could he when he didn't even have a kite? One day, as Ion was rummaging through a pile of trash near the village square, he found something unexpected: a kite. It was torn and tattered, its once vibrant colors faded and dirty. But to Ethan, it was a treasure. He carefully picked it up, brushing off the dirt and examining the damage. Most of the kite was intact, except for a few patches where the fabric had ripped. Though it looked old and worn out, Ian saw potential in it. He imagined the feel of the wind beneath it, the thrill of seeing it soar high above the trees. Determined to make his dream a reality, Ian took his discovery home. His mother, who was a skilled seamstress, helped him patch up the tears using old newspapers, thread, and glue. Together they worked, their fingers moving deftly, their eyes focused on the task at hand. As the sun set, they stood back to admire their handiwork. The kite wasn't as colorful or fancy as the ones he had seen in the competition before, but it was his. And in his eyes, it was the most beautiful kite in the world. The next day, when the other children went to the square to practice flying their kites, they saw Ion walking towards them with his patched-up kite. They burst into laughter. "Look at that," one of them said, pointing at Ethan. "The crazy kite boy is here. I bet his kite can't even fly." Another chimed in, "Yeah, it looks like a patchwork quilt. No wonder he's hiding his face." Their words stung like a bee sting, but Ethan knew he had to be brave. He had worked too hard on his kite to just give up now, so he took a deep breath, held his kite high, and ran into the open field. As the wind caught his kite, it lifted off the ground and soared into the air. The other children stopped their taunts and turned to watch it. The kite danced and twirled higher and higher until it was a speck against the vast canvas of the sky. But soon the wind shifted and the speck became a blur, and then the kite disappeared from sight. The other children started laughing again, but this time their laughter was filled with admiration. "Well done, Ethan," they called out. "You may be poor, but you sure know how to fly a kite." For the first time, they weren't mocking him, and it made him feel good. The day of the kite competition arrived, and the village square was bustling with activity. Families had gathered, their faces beaming with excitement. The children were eager to show off their kites, which were more elaborate than ever. There were diamond-shaped kites with tails that shimmered in the sunlight. There were octagon-shaped kites that spun and twirled gracefully in the wind. And then there was Ethan with his simple patched-up kite. And it was his turn to fly his kite. The crowd watched curiously. Some whispered, "Can that old kite even fly?" Others shook their heads in disapproval. But Ethan wasn't deterred. He took a deep breath, held his kite high, and let the wind carry it away. The kite rose slowly at first, but then it began to climb higher and higher, faster and faster. It seemed as if it would touch the clouds. The crowd gasped in surprise and delight. "Look at that," someone shouted. "Patched-up kite is winning." The other children were stunned. Couldn't believe that Ethan's simple kite was soaring higher than theirs. But as the wind picked up, their fancy kites began to falter. The diamond-shaped kite, with its heavy embellishments, struggled to stay airborne. The octagon-shaped kite, with its long, flowing tail, got tangled in a tree. One by one, the kites came crashing down, much to the disappointment of their young owners. But Ethan's kite kept rising, danced and twirled in the wind, a beacon of hope against the darkening sky. Then suddenly, the wind took a sharp turn. Clouds gathered, forming a dark mass on the horizon. In the distance, thunder rumbled, signaling the coming storm. The crowd began to panic. "Oh no, a storm," someone cried. "Quick, take cover." The parents rushed to gather their children, shielding them under their skirts. The kite competition was forgotten. But Ethan stood his ground. He knew that if he let go of his kite now, it would be lost forever. With all his might, he held onto the string, his knuckles turning white. The wind screamed, trying to tear the kite from his grasp, but Ethan didn't budge. He dug his feet deeper into the ground and strained every muscle in his body. The storm raged on, but slowly the wind began to calm down. The clouds parted, revealing a bright patch of blue sky. The sun peeked out from behind the clouds, casting a warm glow over the village. And when the crowd looked up, they saw Ethan's kite dancing in the gentle breeze. It was the only kite left in the sky. Ethan had won the competition. The crowd erupted in cheers. "Well done, Ethan!" they shouted. "You may be poor, but you are the best kite flyer in our village." Ethan's heart swelled with pride. He had proven to everyone that he didn't need fancy things to succeed. All he needed was determination and a will to rise above the challenges. From that day on, no one mocked Ethan for flying a patched-up kite. In fact, they admired him for his courage and skill. The story of the broken kite that flew the highest became a legend in the village, reminding everyone that true strength lies not in perfection, but in the will to rise despite being broken. So the next time you see a bird soaring through the sky, remember the patched-up kite that flew the highest. And remember that no matter how rough your wings are, as long as you keep flapping, you will one day touch the clouds. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more content. Till next time, keep soaring to new heights.
Yes.
And remember, true strength lies not in perfection, but in the will to rise despite being broken. Take care and see you soon.